Pantheon just to chill about. You want to make early action happen.
Yeah, and we'll wait and see if Canyon can manage it, as that hasn't necessarily been his main course of action in most of the games that he has been playing. He hasn't been the playmaker early on in the games. A lot of Zeka love out in the audience, and very understandable. Zeka's form right now is kind of insane. And this time he goes right back to Yone, which he did play in their last series when there was Zeus playing Annie top. So pretty interesting that he gets his hands on the Yone again. This one, a blind pick, and he says, just give me the Yone, I will carry. We'll see if he can do exactly that. HLE up against
for a potential dive here.
Yeah, they just saw Kanavi on the top side of the map. They're looking for Guma here. The root comes in, he cleanses and flashes, but he still dies as Ruler picks up the kill, and that's first blood. Yep. Looking for maybe a play here. We got the arrow on the way. Duro and Canyon positioning pretty aggressively. And Kanavi's going to go in, of course. There's the Rumble and the buy, and also the Yone over the top of Canyon with the shield up. Survives for so long, but the DPS still there. Jovial's going to be taken out by this Rumble. Looking for Keen on top of it all. And Duro, the only one left. And Zeus says, thank you so much for giving me Rumble and all of this awesome gold.
Trying not to lose, but I mean, they have two dragons in pocket, but it's an Ocean Soul.
Oh, trying to set up here. Duro, still no flash available and in a ton of trouble. Throws out the ult, but just dies. And that's a kill on Taguma on top of everything that happened in the top river. The lights here too. We could
It's not the easiest target to dive, but they're going to try it.
They polymorph him. Jovi's going in, but Wild Growth immediately, and he's going to ult and backflip, but that is Yone who sits him down. We got an arrow on the way. Zeus is like, yeah, cool story. Keen's going to take a little bit of damage here. He might actually look to go all in, but guess who's on the way? It's Zeka. We do have the Panthults there, as the ult cancel from Keen is excellent, but he's all alone now, so able to get away from the Yone ult, but just dies instead.
Oh, Canyon seems to be in trouble too.
Yeah, we got a buy on the way here, and nowhere for Canyon to run, nowhere for him to hide, as HLE
into the fog of war here. So dangerous into this HLE composition.
Yeah, HLE are going to give them that one, and they look actually for Guma, who's just totally in no man's land, and they immediately take him down. That's a double kill onto the bottom lane, as now Kanavi at least is going to get the one, and now Zeus is going man mode in onto Ruler, has to go golden, as he is quite low himself. Canyon looking for the finish, he's not quite able to get it, as Zeka finds the back line and takes out Ruler, and that is all the damage of Gen.G now gone, as Zeka on the Yone is just incredible, and HLE win a big fight in the Dragon.
Gen.G act decisively. They find the enemy AD carry, they blow him up, and they think this should be enough, and yet it isn't. The top side of HLE come in clutch there. The problem if you go, oh.
Nice flash there from Delight, very close.
Oh, the kid around.
Now they're going to be looking for the re-engage. Kanavi, he is jumping on the bit for that one as they're looking for the backline. They're going to find Duro, but it takes them so long to try to take him out, as finally they do. But it's not exactly clean, as that's going to be the end of Delight as well. Gen.G find a decent fight here.
Didn't help. Right. They are just starting the Baron up. It's into an Ashe, so
Keen, he does not have TP. He's still running over here. I mean, we have the arrow, but this is just a little bit too little too late. Like, look at where Canyon's at. He doesn't have ult. He doesn't have flash.
I mean, that's
just a Baron sneak away.
That was such a good call to go for that when Canyon doesn't have ult available. Like, knowing the timer and being like, hey, he can't get here quickly. Because normally against a Pantheon, he's always getting into the pit. Like, if he has ult up, it's impossible to stop him. You can respond to him well, but the fact they find a window where his ult isn't available ends up paying off massively. In HLE, on the back of a fight that wasn't so great, don't miss a beat, get the Baron, and with that, should be looking to push up and take this mid-tier 1.
Yeah, feeling pretty good for them after that one. And, you know, the gold lead was pretty close throughout this entire game. You know, HLE was slowly getting control of the game, of course, but now with this Baron, you would expect it to be blown pretty wide open. And probably going to be looking to set up some fights as well. You see Kanavi's hiding on bush. They're putting in some pretty aggressive control warding as well to deny as much vision as possible. And just set up potential picks here. Going to push bot lane, it looks like. I think you kind of need your Vi if you really want to set something up. but Kanavi is in the mid lane.
Yeah, diving would be a... Oh, Ash Arrow, I think, was hoping the team would go aggressive and force them into it.
They're trying to make a play here that Ambessa just totally going to miss. The Wild Growth is there on Aguma as in goes Canyon. They want to take out Delight, and they do. As the Equalizer not getting a huge amount of damage done. Zeus is going to go golden, and now Zeka totally whips everybody. Zeus as well is going to be taken out, and one by one the dominoes of HLE fall. And Gen.G pick up a big fight.
Gen.G with a big answer back, and HLE just not connecting onto the right targets. It's going to be Ocean Soul for Gen.G. Again, not the highest value, but still enough potentially to tip the scales, which are already feeling a bit more Gen.G favored in recent fights. We'll see the replay. So, unfortunately, what ends up happening is, even though Keen misses the ult, the aggressive play for Guma forces him away, and they just chain onto the Lulu. Just take the Lulu out, the value's gone. Duro's ultimate got a ton of value, charming up 3 people while this happens. And then Zeka, the flash from Ruler allows him to avoid the ultimate. And I think, you know, it was so late in the fight as well. You really want to be leading the charge, engaging together. This was Gen.G starting the fight and getting so much benefit for it. Both these teams have plenty of ways of engaging, of starting the fight, and it feels like whoever meets their conditions better is just winning.
Yeah, it definitely does feel that way. I think the fact that Kanavi kind of got there after the fight was already engaged on his team. You know, it wasn't proactively using the Vi and the Rumble to get a huge amount of damage onto one target that you can control. Definitely meant it got pretty out of hands there for Hanwha Life Esports very quickly. And I think they got to show some respect to Gen.G on some of these plays. See, the TP is coming in here. The arrow also going to hit Zeka into the Mikhail. Zeus right in there, and the Equalizer's gigantic this time. They catch Ruler. That double knockup is gigantic here from Zeka. And that is the fight that Hanwha Life are looking for, as you allow so much space for your Yunara as well to push forward. And they pick up 3 and are looking to get more.
40 seconds, long death time as they're TPing in. They might try and push for the end here. It's only 2 members alive.
I mean, what can you really do? One of them being Duro, and one of them is an Ambessa, who doesn't have public execution, gets slowed by the Slurkle. And, I mean, King can't clear the wave by himself. He's going to try as he goes in, insta-polymorph, does a decent amount of damage, and actually does clear the wave, but has to spend his life for it.
I mean, it was a good play from Keen, if we're being honest. The polymorph was pretty perfect from Delight to try and shut him down, but he clears the wave, he saves the game. Exactly what you need to do in that situation. But this fight from HLE, ult comes down to Zeka, the Mikhails gets him away from the follow-up CC, and Ruler flashed the last ultimate Zeka threw at him. Doesn't have it for this one, and it is pixel perfect to catch both him and his jungler. And as soon as those two are down, it feels like it's all HLE momentum. Here though, Keen just does everything he can to try and clear the wave. You see Duro's hitting it initially, and then the polymorph comes in, but it's just still not enough to disrupt Keen completely. He gets just enough damage down to clear out that cannon as well, and it will keep the game going, at least for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I just figured that, you know, if they polymorph him, it should be enough time to just blow him up before he does get out of the polymorph, but
make treads.
Not the case, yeah.
Yeah.
So, he keeps the game alive. But we do have another Baron here in a minute, and Gen.G don't currently have much control, if any at all, around this objective. They have one control ward in their own jungle, and they're going to hope that that can be a starting point. But that's where they just lost the last fight. You got to be really careful about fighting Rumble Yone in any kind of choke, especially that one. So, gonna have to go back to the drawing board on how they're going to approach this Baron.
I think as well. I mean, GA now for Ruler is pretty big, but I think him not having flash definitely makes it a lot more difficult for him to team fight. Also, hasn't got any armor pen yet. I don't know, naturally, champions just get a lot of armor as the game goes on, but we are starting to see armor be bought as well. Like we see Zeka has 135 armor already. We have like GA for Kanavi. That item, you know, the Samira coin thing, what's it called? You know, the one that builds in a GA?
Oh,
you know the one I'm talking about.
Is it a medallion?
Something like that. I forget the name. But that component item. Yeah, but yeah, anyway.
The red circle is what.
Good amount of armor on the front line of HLE. You know, Zonya's on Zeus, 2 GAs. Oh, Zeus on a big flank.
Yeah, and Kanavi is ready to press his buttons onto anyone. They decide, okay, we can take out Canyon. He is the jungler, and it takes them a while, but they get the job done. Kanavi is there, and the ult comes in on a Chovy. Nowhere for him to run. And Keen is the same. They don't even need the objective. HLE just press their buttons on a couple of members, and they don't miss this time.
Felt like such a slow build-up on the fight, but just started hitting the first target they could see, and then eventually snapped onto Chovy, who goes down too. The bot lane of Gen.G got to try and defend. Do you manage to clear out the wave, but there's a super minion coming with the next one.
Oh, harpooning a ruler, and he might just be dead. Tons of damage to go into Guma, but they get him into his GA, and the wave is hitting the turrets, and eventually, once he comes back up, that'll be the end of Ruler, and the end of this game, the end of Gen.G in this series. Zeka, nobody beats him 19 times in a row in best of threes, as he takes down Chovy for the first time in his entire career in a best of three. He gets it done, and it's such a clean victory, the 2-0 for Hanwha.